Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another session of this Doin Time With Joe support group. We're going to pick right back up where we left off. We were talking about Corey and his situation, dealing with the stress that he's under with the unit manager that we have wanting to box up our stuff. And she's just slick doing it to punish us. But look, I'm going to get into something that Phil said, like this is easy.
Can I say one thing before you
say
do
your thing? Do your thing.
You talked about all this other stuff. I came in here when I was a child. I don't have a wife. I would love to have had one. I would have loved to have had children. I would have loved to have had all of that. And I don't. I don't know how. I've never paid bills. I've never done any of that. So I don't know. All I know is this. All I know is being incarcerated. They keep talking about, they need programs and all that. They don't do programs. If you've got a life sentence, they don't do nothing for you. There is not one thing that they do for you in here. Okay? Because everything is designed for people that are going home. Because once you get that life sentence, they consider you're done. That bed is done. And I don't know any of that. Okay? And I wish that I did. I wish that I knew those. I wish that I had those problems. I don't. I don't have any of them. I ask my sister all the time, what's it like to pay taxes? What's it like to pay bills? Because I don't know. And I would love, I'm probably the only person in this world that gets excited about thinking of what's it feel like to get, stuck in traffic, because I don't remember. And yeah, I know this is petty, and yes, I know that it probably doesn't mean nothing to anybody, but damn, people, just leave us. And I go out of my way to avoid these people. My grandmother told me a parable when I was a little boy about the snake and the bunny. A bunny hopping through the woods sees a snake. The snake is crying, and it says he has no friends. And the bunny says, "I'll be your friend." And it picks it up, and it starts hopping away. The snake starts crying again. It goes, "What's wrong?" And it says, "Well, you go too fast. I can't keep up with you." And he goes, "Well, hop on my shoulder." And he goes, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "You're not scared I'm going to bite you?" He goes, "No, you're my friend. You said you're going to be my friend." For years, this bunny is his friend of this snake. So finally, one day, they see a paradise on the other side of this river. And the snake whispers in the bunny's ear, if you go over there, we'll both be happy. And he goes, "Yeah, but if I get in the middle of this river and you bite me, we'll both drown." And he goes, "Bunny, I've been your friend for years. I would never do that." Because you know what? It feels shame. "I'm so sorry. You're right." Jumps in the river. Halfway through the river, the snake whispers in the bunny's ear, "I'm going to bite you, bunny." And the bunny cries, "Why? I've been your friend when nobody was. Why would you do that?" The snake said, "You knew what I was when you picked me up." I know what that woman is. I'm not going to pick her up. That has stuck with me my entire life. If you see a snake, you leave it alone. But in here, you can't hide from the snake because it comes to your cell. And it will bite at you and bite at you and bite at you until, there's nothing left. And yes, I know, inside I know that I should get rid of all my extra crap that I've got because I know that I've accumulated this stuff all my life. But my cell is not cluttered anyways, and I know that I could fit in that 6x6 space, but it doesn't matter to her because she's nitpicking, and that just keep biting and biting and biting. I mean, and it's getting old.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
No, sure.
Yeah.
Now, I'm with Corey on this, and I'm going to tell you why, because, I'm listening to Phil, and I'm listening to Sean, and you say what you say, and I respect it. I do. But there ain't nothing easy about this. The reason that you are fortunate enough to even be able to say what you said about that is because you're 2 years in. And I hope that you don't have to do any more till you get to that point where you realize there ain't nothing easy about losing control over your life. Right now, you still have some semblance of control over your life because you believe, like you said to him, that your finish line is right around the corner. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. Who knows, right? But the fact that you haven't been here long enough to feel what it's like, especially at this institution, to feel what it's like when people won't stay out of your business, won't let you avoid them. That you don't have that here like we've had at other places. And what's happening to him, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, is that what she's doing is triggering how we've been through things down the road. Because we know what it's like. When they start this, they don't stop. Now, she may stop, but down the road, when something like this happens, they don't stop. They come and they take, and they get it all. And I think he's being triggered by that, and that's what's causing him to stress out like that. But again, not dismissing what you said, because that's your experience. But I'm glad that you said it, because it gives me an opportunity to say to individuals out there that are listening, ain't nothing easy about this at all, except that in a situation like this, and then talking about what you talking about, Sean, as far as following the rules of the land, you know what I'm saying, like Yahweh commands us to do. I get that too. But at some point, there has to be a time when you stand up. See, that's the part I don't get about any religion. It ain't no way, man, that it makes sense to me. You can't make it make sense to me when somebody's smacking me and mistreating me in the way that I understand that, right? And then it's supposed to be straight. And that's what you have in here. And I think to dismiss that is to dismiss that he's going through something. Now, I'm not going to tell him to do anything violent. I've been knowing him 21, 27 years. You feel what I'm saying? And most of the advice that I gave him back in the day was bull crap. I wish I wouldn't have gave it to him. You know, I sent him down the wrong road, tell him to pick up the pack and all that. I told him that. I raised him in here. And I wish I would have never told him that, but
I made a lot of money.
Well, look what it got us, you know. But the point I'm making is that it's hard when you've done the kind of time that we've done, 25 plus, 35 plus. When you deal with this every day, you got 2 years in, man, and I'm glad that you have that perspective. You know, I'm jealous of that. I wish I could have that perspective where I don't allow these people to grab that control from me. Because that's what it feels like when they do that to me. I have no control over my own space. And then I got to realize it's not my space. It's not my space. But you get rocked to sleep in here, man, when you go and you do things for 3, 4, 5 years. You don't get in any trouble. You obeying the rules, and they don't bother you. So you start to think that that room is your room. You start to think that the stuff that's put up, that you got on your shelf, that your family bought for you or the state gave you, you start to think that that's yours. And then one day somebody comes in that doesn't matter how old they are, doesn't matter what race they are, doesn't matter what gender they are, somebody comes in and says, throw that away. And you have to do that. And that's hard to just adapt to that. You feel what I'm saying? And it messes with you.
You see, when I say this is easy, I'm talking about the rules that they have in place. They're easy to follow. As far as being away from your family and the control of all that, I understand that. I did 33 months in the county in Open Bay, living in the bathroom. So I got a significant amount of time dealing with this incarceration thing. This is just because I said I'm 2 years into TDOC, but
I'm not trying to diminish your 2 years.
30. You know what I'm saying? So let's not. I trust me. What I'm talking about is this is easy as far as the rules. You know what to expect. Every day we know what to expect. So why go against the expectation when you see the future? You know what time you're going to lunch. You know what time you're going to breakfast. You know what time you're going to do the job. You know you know your day. The hard part is having to do it every single day. I get that. But if you already know this and you know your hard part is how to do this every single day, at some point it should become easy. To me, it doesn't matter 35 years. The hard part doing 35 years of the same thing.
Stop
that. That's gonna be hard.
But they change it every day. Every day is different. I mean, you never know. You never know if their old lady been the same.
Listen to me. This facility. No. I'm glad to be here.
Been the same.
Glad to be here. Don't get it twisted. Glad to be here. And you feel me? But don't get it twisted. This is not easy. This is not typical either. This is not typical. Yeah, you say, yeah, you know the rules. Get up, go to work, do this, do that, right? At any other place, and it's getting to be that way here, you get up and you go to work, right? Easy thing to do. Like when you on the town, you get up, you get in your car, you go to work, you stop in traffic, you stop by and grab you a bagel or whatever, and then you go on to work, you're good. Here, when you get up and you go to work, you got to go out, you got to stand on the sidewalk, and you're going to get touched 3 times. When I say get touched 3 times, what I mean out there, y'all, somebody going to pat you down. you're going to have somebody rubbing all over your body to see if you got anything on it, right? And then when you get to the bottom of the hill, somebody else wants to touch on you. Yeah, you know what to expect, but it's hard to get used to somebody touching on you all day, every day for 35 years. It gets tired sometimes, and you have those moments.
That's why I said that part I get is hard. But as far as me, I'm a rule follower. I follow this because I don't like authority anyway. You know what I'm saying?
A rule follower that don't like authority.
Yeah, I don't. So it's just easy for me because I don't like authority. It's easy for me to follow rules.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That keeps the authority away from me. As long as I stay within these lines, you ain't got no reason to bother me. Yeah. Now, if you come to me and try to take me out of these lines, now I got to figure out either I want to, go against or do I submit to what you're doing, because I got to get back to a place of peace as fast as possible, because if I don't, the bull gonna take over. And I know there's a place where they take the people who the bull has taken over. Oh, yeah. And I choose not to go that place. So let me go ahead and submit. It's easy for me to get along with people. I listen. That's why I said this is easy. The hard part is being away from my family, being away from my wife. I feel like I'm calling from the grave. This is how I feel like every time I call and I do this is EDOC and your phone, I feel like it's a seance, because I don't get to see my family. I don't get to hear my kids. I don't get to touch my wife. It feels like this is a seance that's going on every single day. So that's why I said the rules of this place are easy. This is easy. The rules but the hard part, I get what you're saying. Being touched, dealing with that woman. I mean, I get all of that, but at some point you got to make that easy too, man.
Well, you might be.
You got to make it easy.
There was a time when I used to walk in here, and I used to think, man, I'm in prison. You know what I mean? I'm in prison for life, and it used to bother me. It really did. I would walk, and getting up out of that rack was torture. But then, I don't know when it happened, but one day I was walking down the sidewalk and I realized that I don't think of this place as prison anymore. I think of this place as home. I just stopped, and it just froze me. I was like, when did that happen? When did it not bother me to be in here anymore? When did it not bother me to see people getting beat on and strip searched? When did that shift happen in my brain that this was normal? And I don't know when that happened. I honest to God don't know when and it just, to this day, that still bothers me more than anything, that this seems normal. And I don't know there's no magic wand I can wave to fix that in my brain to fix that, but
well, let me jump into that then. I'm kind of like you. I don't know when it started to make sense for them to, like when I come down the sidewalk sometime, automatically, like 3 or 4 people before me, I'll take off my hat, I'll empty my pockets, and I'll spread like this and let them go ahead and do whatever he's going to do. If it's a female, let her do whatever she going to do, right?
I don't really mind that.
Huh?
I don't really mind the females touching.
I don't either, but I'd like to. If it ain't consensual, at least pay me. But the point I'm making, the point I'm making is that I automatically conform, like y'all say, conform to that, right? And then 2 years into doing my podcast, right, I started to be like, man, I'm sick of these people touching on me, right? And it was almost like me reattaching myself to the outside world through my show. It started me to feel like, man, there ain't nothing normal about this. So I'm conflicted. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm here, been here a while, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got that much more to go, but I had gotten used to it. Can't tell you when I got used to it. Now I feel uncomfortable all the time now. I feel uncomfortable all the time when I deal with these people in here, because now it's almost like I'm out there, but I'm not out there. I'm out there mentally, but I'm not out there physically. And I don't like the physical aspect. I'm not used to that anymore. It irks me when they touch me. You know what I mean? Because I didn't give you permission to touch me. But then I got to be reminded that I don't have to give them permission to touch me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thrown off, and I get what you're saying in it. And I really don't know what to do about that. I just go along with it because I know right now that I have to.
You told me never to put your mind out there. You said always keep your mind in it.
Right, but I told you wrong. Period. I told you wrong, and the reason that I told you that is because that was the same crap that I was told. Don't put your mind out there. But the reason that I've come to understand that was wrong is that they don't offer us anything in here. And I don't want to be trapped in a place where it's nothing. I just don't. I sold a lot of dope, did a lot of things, written books, blah, blah, blah. Everybody know the story. But once I fully committed, left the other side of the things alone, I like that. Something's out there for me, even though I'm not physically out there. Something's out there for me, and I know that I ain't nothing right about none of this. Ain't nothing. All the things that I learned to survive this environment, and I believe me, y'all know the story that you're out there listening. You know, I've done a lot, and none of that really helped me. None of that really helped me. But let's get to, y'all gave some pointers as to what to do. I mean, anybody got any other pointers, you know what I'm saying, they want to give him to add to that? Because I'm at a loss, because I'm with him on that. And then we're going to move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Joe, yeah, Sean here. You had said something about you conform, and, I've been down a while, and I will never conform to prison, right? I've refused to allow prison to change me or put me in some type of mold, right? Of course, Scripture says don't conform to the pattern of this world, right? But it's more of it's less conform, but more of a radical acceptance, right? If I don't accept the things the way they are and not the way that I would like them to be, I'm going to be a miserable SOB all the time, right? Can I do anything about them wanting to pat me down up there, over here, and then over there again? No. But that is presently my reality, right? And so, as the scriptures say, the authority is there for those that want to disobey, right? To go against the grain, right? To break the rules, As you say, if you're not breaking the rules, authority is absolutely no threat. It can be easy.
But what if the rules are unjust? What about that?
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, right? But
and I don't want to get too deep because I don't want nobody thinking I'm talking about trying to overthrow something. Don't even get the tripping.
Right. They are unjust
on that, right? But what if it's just something that they don't enhance you? They don't add anything to your life. They don't. It's all about taking from you. I'm talking about mentally and spiritually.
Right. They can attempt. They can attempt. We have to get it. We have to give it over.
So how do you get it? Tell me. How do you get it?
How
do you get it? How do you get to that point to where you can conform to what's going on, but not give in to what's going on? Maybe that's what I'm trying to say.
It's taken me decades to get here. And I'm
give me a shortcut. Give me a shortcut.
All right. So it basically comes. It really. I'm going to tell you, Joe. It really comes down to faith, man. I believe what's going to happen to me when this body perishes, right? So, and we know that the ruler of this world, I don't care what country you're in, I don't care a geographical location you're on this planet, right? Right? The wicked one's in control of this. Every form of government is controlled, right? By the one that's anti-Messiah, right? So, if you know what he wants, steal, kill, and destroy everything about you. Because you were created by Elohim, right? Because he knew you before you were born. He wants to kill you. He wants to take your peace. He wants to take your joy. He wants to do everything to you that's opposite of what Yahweh wants for you to have. Yeshua came to destroy those works. We have to believe in that, right? And his righteous commandments are not easy because he tells us, if a man smites you on one side, turn the cheek up, turn the cheek. Doesn't mean to be abused. It means that you forgive the man for doing what he's doing and you put yourself in a position to get smacked again. Because that's what love is. He loved us when Yeshua's on the cross. He's already got the nails pegged through his hands and his feet. And he says, forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they do. That's tough.
That's like an abused wife saying, her husband saying, "I'm sorry, I'll never do it again,"
Yeah.
and then just keep abusing them. I mean,
But
it's
that's different though. That's knowing you're allowing evil. That's a little different. I mean, I'd have
Well,
to
be
get into
clear
another
about
side.
that because I got people that are listening to that. Be
Yeah.
clear about it.
Well, it almost is allowing that evil to happen, but in the grand scheme of things, you can leave that husband.
You can't. We can't.
We can't.
We can't.
We can't
Exactly
leave
right.
this environment without
So-
getting shot.
But we put ourselves out there to get smacked, right?
Wait a minute. So you're saying that because I broke the law, I just want to be clear about what you're saying. Because I broke the law, that I deserve what's being done to me, or I should accept.
absolutely
No,
not.
let's forget deserve. That I should accept what's being done to me.
Did we know what we were doing when we broke the law?
Let's say I knew all of that. I'm just the question is simple.
Well, there are consequences to the flesh.
So
right?
the consequence of me breaking the law, I think you said this at the beginning, right? Was for me to be separated from society.
Yeah.
That's it.
A civil punishment. Yeah.
The rest of the stuff, that's another human being exercising their evils on me.
Yep.
So are you saying that I'm supposed to accept that because I broke the law?
No, not because you broke the law. Absolutely not. You have to separate that. You do because you don't because you broke the law doesn't give them the right to hurt you.
So if it doesn't give them the right to hurt me, then what is my recourse? When do I get to stand up?
Accept it or not. My Yahweh tells us to pray for those that are over you, man. That your life will be at peace. Pray for those that rule over you. You know, because they're going to rule over you, right? And it's not an easy walk, man. It took me a long time to even begin to think this way, right? So, is it fair and just? No, but they will get their just reward, right? You know, my Creator tells me, don't repay an evil man with evil.
No, I didn't say that.
I mean,
didn't
if
say
we respond in some kind of physical way, or
I just felt and I'm gonna let Phil jump in here because we're gonna get to
some people can't accept this.
No, it's not. For me, it's not about accept. I just don't think that. I know
that's a deep subject. That's why people say don't talk about religion or politics. Yeah,
two of my favorite subjects.
Yeah,
go ahead, Phil.
Just Phil, I think it's if that message that Corey's, not Corey, but Sean given, that works for those who believe. But what about the non-believer?
Mm-hmm.
What if I don't believe in Yahweh, Yahshua, Elohim? I don't believe. I still got to be an example for them to get through this. So this is what I do, and has really the reason why I said this is easy. I devalue what they do. I don't place value on them patting me down. You want to pat me down? Cool, that's you. That you go ahead and do that. It doesn't bother me. I go to a different place when you feel like you patting me down, because there are certain officers who see that it's not getting to him, me patting him down. So let me try to turn it up. Let me do. And the more they try to turn up, the more they waste their time, to the point where we're not even going to deal with him because it doesn't bother him. He's not resisting the way we want. He's actually complying. So it's what we doing. They can only do so much, And so I try to take them to the extreme immediately, just to see that your extreme means nothing to me. So I don't place value on what they do, But I do speak words to them to say, you now being trained to oppress. You have become the oppressor. So even though we look alike, you are now the oppressor. So they don't have to do anything to oppress me. They paying you to do it. How do you feel when you got siblings out there that are younger? You got kids that are younger, that one day, and I'm warning, and I tell them, I'm a warning. I made more money than all of y'all. I made more money than the warden. And in a heartbeat, it could be taken away without nothing happening. You didn't do anything. I said, so you're only setting yourself up to be oppressed. So you'll be the one that's angry and whatever, to kick and scream when it happens to you. And I promise you, they don't bother me at all. Another thing that I do, I just draw back on life's experiences of, man, it could be worse. We could be dealing with Gaza. We could be dealing with all these other things. So this 10 seconds of them patting me down, all right, let me get through this. And let me get to, if you don't know my job, and I can eat, and I can, like, that's why I said this is easy to me. Like, this isn't difficult for me to maneuver or guide myself through, because, I mean, it's only 10 seconds. It's only 5 seconds. We're talking about, and Sean's been, we're talking about eternity. That's not even, a drop, so if you can draw on your God, your creator, your most high, your universe, whatever that may be, if you can draw from that and make devalue what they do, but make what he does or she does more valuable, this just becomes small to me. Like they said, the small things don't mean anything to a giant. I just tend to make these things small, like the woman, she won't pass out commissary on this day, then she'll do it on this day, and the rule said she's supposed to do it on that day. Okay, I get it. She ain't doing it. Ain't nobody for me to complain to, and who I'm gonna complain to is on her side. So of course it's meaningless. Let me continue to go to a place, because who I believe in still has the final say. He still has the one who is going to, if I close my eyes, he's the one that can say your soul is required tonight. What does all that mean to me? Absolutely nothing when I'm standing before him. Did you do what I commanded you to do? Did you say, did you stand, did you think the way that I did? Well, I required you to. That's why I'm so intrigued on trying to get deeper, go deeper as to why I even think this way. There's been some traumatic things that I've seen in this place that has caused me, this is not normal.
Right, but I think that's what Corey's trying to say.
Can I tell the story?
Real quick.
I seen somebody OD and throw up blood. I mean, like.
Was that your first time?
This was, my first time seeing The Exorcist, yes. But I've seen other. I seen this, and I'm literally watching this dude do this, and I'm saying, man, you want me to get you help? He is crying, begging me not to get the officer. And I'm knowing this man's mouth is so full of blood, it's like Kool-Aid coming out of his mouth. And I'm just sitting there traumatized, and he's begging me not to. So eventually it went away. He was able to survive. But in my mind, I had realized that if I was to go get him help, not only would he get locked up, everybody in the cell get locked up, because we don't know where this stuff comes from. They're more or less a shoot first, ask questions later type punishment or whatever. But I don't want to go to the hole. So my option is, let me just go ahead and step over this man who's about to die. And if he die, at least they won't come to me and say how he died. They're going to deal with the officer and be like, you didn't make your rounds. That's not normal. And I know that's not normal, but that's how I have to maneuver in this place so I don't lose my peace of mind.
And what I'm saying, and what I think Corey's saying, is that after, you won't be here, okay? After 30 years of dipping, dodging, and maneuvering, like you saying, that you do now, you're going to be just like us.
No, I've seen more people raped.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, because that's how it starts. Yeah. We all come in here starting the same way you did. Yeah. We don't believe this. This is not real. People don't act like this. And then 5 years go by, 10 years go by, and then I'm on the ball field in Morgan County. Dude done got stabbed on the ball field. I walked right over and stepped over him and kept going and hollered, "What's up, bro?"
Yeah.
You see dude laying back there? Yeah. Dude laying there. And then it becomes normal, man.
It'll never
and I
be
hope,
normal.
Well, I feel you, and I believe you believe that.
Yeah.
I really do. I believe you believe that.
I told him the same thing 20-something years ago.
This will never be normal.
You see,
I believe that you believe that.
When I say, what I mean, this will never be normal, that's not normal.
No, it's not normal.
I'm supposed to help him.
No, exactly.
I'm supposed
but if you do, then there are penalties that will be attached to it. And what happens to you slowly, man, I'm telling you, from experience, I'm not just talking, I don't do that. What happens is that humanity that you have in you, it'll start to erode. You'll start to weigh, well, I'm not finna let these folks put me in the hole. And I'm gonna use your words. You going to another cell, right? You got a cell down here in the unit you live in, right? They got a cell up there. They call that one the hole up there, right? That means lockup, y'all. That one up there has a different mental level to it. Mm-hmm. And people in here, after you've gotten the taste of it, you'll do whatever you got to do to avoid it, right? Mm-hmm. So in that, right, when your cellie or whoever it was is asking you, don't go get the police. Don't say nothing. And then you're weighing up in your head, should I say something? And you say, I'm not going to say anything because why? I'm going to the hole. Everybody's going to get locked up. What you did right then is compromise your humanity, and you maneuvering. And then you'll do that year 1, year 2, year 5, year 10, year 20, and year 30. And then, no, it's not normal, but it will become your norm. It will become how you maneuver in here, and it'll do something to you.
And that leads you to the way Corey's feeling.
And it'll do something to you. I'm telling you from experience. Everybody that came into the penitentiary came in here after they left the county after 33 months and then did their first 2 years in here and then year 3, year 5, year 10. That's how it happens. That's all he's saying. No, it's not normal. We know it's not normal to not help somebody. But after a while, it becomes the way to survive the environment.
You have to fight that.
And it becomes your norm, and then it makes you numb. It makes you numb.
You see, I don't even see it as a way of surviving.
I respect it.
I don't see it as a way of any. I just see it like, man, this place is messed up. And if people only truly knew how messed up it is, I don't think that they would fund what's going on.
And you sound like everybody else that comes into the prison that lives here and works here. You think that they don't know. What we're saying is the fight that you're talking about, we fought that fight. We've been there, done that. Now I'm going to say this, and then we're going to jump to the next thing, because I want to get on KP and his issue, right? People, especially, bro, you know I mess with you. You all right? But this is not a good example of what can happen to you and how it happens to you at this facility. I'm not saying that you're not cut from a certain type of cloth, so don't get it twisted, okay? What I'm saying, at other facilities, man, it does become about your survival. Because if you do stop and help that person that might be asking for help or not asking for help, like when I had to step over this man's body, if I do stop, it ain't that I'm worried about the police doing something to me. You feel what I'm saying? I might be getting in cuz them business, a dog them business. You feel what I'm saying? I might be getting in somebody else's business that could cost me my life. So what do? Step over the body and keep it moving. Everything in me is telling me, man, help this dude. And then he looking up at me like, help me. Man, I'm going, hey, what's up, bro? I'm hollering at them down there. I'm trying to pretend, I'm convincing myself that I didn't even see this man's face looking at me. I didn't hear him say, help me. I'm telling myself this. You feel what I'm saying? And over time, say what you say, and I believe you believe what you say. But all of us were you. That's what I'm telling you. All of us were you.
Yeah.
But again, we're going to jump. I'm going to close this one out. And we're going to jump on KP as soon as we come back, right? I hope y'all got something out of this. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I'm sure y'all got something to say about this one, right? This has been another episode of Doin Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I said peace, y'all.
I'm getting so